Rachel first, please. Thank you.
Rachel, another close nail-biting performance. I mean, how does it feel to be on the winning side again?
Yeah, no, I'm thrilled to be on the winning side. I think it's the first time in a very long time that I think since in about 20 years that we've done back-to-back against Wales. So to grind that out is something that I definitely think we can be hugely proud of. We definitely left tries out there, I think, today. I don't think it was the most clinical performance that we maybe wanted, but I also think the energy and like fight that Wales brought to that game made it extremely difficult for us. They never kind of backed down at any point, but I think it was kind of a game of who's gonna kind of buckle first, because we were both just bringing a huge amount of energy to everything. The conditions obviously changed as well, which kind of stunted the flow of the game a little bit. But I think, thrilled to come away with the win and to start the tournament off with a win. But I think the performance definitely needs looked at in terms of going up to France next week, where we're going to have to be slightly more accurate than we were today.
Was that your first win here at the Hive Stadium?
I don't think so.
No.
I may have
No.
misheard that in comment.
No, don't think it was.
Scratch that.
Okay.
Between the conditions and the rain and all the amount of TMO interventions, how hard was it to keep focus during what is, a real tough game?
Yeah, it's one of those, I think the rain is, unfortunately, in fact, something that we're quite used to in this country, so that wasn't too distracting. But I think, there was a lot of chopping and changing in terms of TMO and players coming off and stuff like that, but that's something that we talk about as a strategy group in the lead up to games. That exact scenario is something that we plan for, so it didn't feel like it disrupted us too much. I think we still kept our flow, and I think the way we actually managed to focus and manage the game in those last 10-15 minutes was why we came away on top. I thought our game management was exceptional. I thought the girls that came off the bench added a huge amount of energy when we really needed it. And I think the way that they came on and nailed their roles allowed us to see that game out, because it was a wee bit of a grind. It wasn't the prettiest win in the world. And we needed them in that moment to get that right. And, the likes of Adele Ferry on her first cap to come on and nail each of her lineouts that she was involved in was pivotal to that and to seeing the game out. So, yeah, it was difficult, but I think you saw from the way we managed the game that we definitely kept our focus.
Well done.
Thank you very much.
Rachel, how proud are you of the determination of the team to kind of to two disallowed tries, the yellow, red card bunk, just kind of getting over the line and getting that narrow win as well?
Yeah, incredibly proud, and I think it shows the growth of this team over the last 10 years that I've been involved in it. There's so many times we were on the wrong side, 12 times in a row at one point. We were on the wrong side of those narrow defeats because we couldn't really get past those moments. Whereas I think now, going through those tough times, what you're seeing now is a very mature performance, one where we know that we will create opportunities, whereas before we were coming into games and probably only creating 4, and we needed to take them if we wanted to win the game. And I think today's disappointing because we created so many opportunities and we left so many out there. But how positive that we're going up against a class Welsh side and still managing to create so many opportunities. What we need to look at is how we can be more clinical when we do.
And just how important is kind of the momentum heading into the rest of the tournament? Obviously a difficult away trip, and then heading into the rest of the tournament from there.
Yeah, the starting off with a win is massive. It can turn into a wee bit of a slog, because when you're up against your France's and your England's early doors, it can get a bit tough. So I think to get that momentum and have that win today is going to be huge. But we know we need to be better next week if we're gonna go up against France and challenge and compete against France. And I think if we can get our breakdown a little bit sharper, because it definitely looked like we've maybe not played in a couple of weeks today, and I think just that accuracy and that speed to it was massive today. It's kind of faulted a lot of our attacking opportunities, but I think, like you say, we've got the kind of monkey off the back in terms of playing the first game. Definitely think there's bits we can improve on, which is hugely exciting, but also a pretty good benchmark to work from.
Cheers, Rachel.
Thank you.
Rachel, what are the apart from the breakdown, what are the bits you need to do better to challenge France?
To be honest, that is probably the only thing I actually can spring to mind with. I think we can probably defensively get off the line a little bit more. France have got a lot of big ball carriers, and I think if we let them come at us like we did Wales today, I think they'll punish us the same way Wales did today. So I think defensively we need to look to come off the line a little bit better. Tackle completion was relatively good today, but if every time someone's carrying and they get a metre, 2 metres, eventually you're going to end up over your try line. And I think with France, that is the way they'll look to play. I think we'll need to be a little bit more savvy around trying to slow them down as well. Wales again had rapid ruck speed. I don't know what the stats were, but it felt very fast in the first half. So we know France want to play fast, so we need to work hard to slow them down as much as we possibly can to give us that opportunity to come off the line. But for me, the breakdown is going to be absolutely massive next week.
How's Eve after the red card, and what was your kind of take on it at the time?
Yeah, she's okay. Like, obviously she's super disappointed. She doesn't. Nobody wants to come off the pitch in that manner. Anyone that knows Evie knows there is absolutely no malice in anything that she's done. So she knows that. Kelsey knows that. I know they've spoken already. She's obviously disappointed. But like, I think anyone watching it can see that she's definitely not doing anything there with any intent. Hopefully she'll find out and what kind of the next steps are. But she's okay. We'll all get around her.
Just you mentioned Adele there, just in terms of Holly and her coming in this week. Can you just touch on them?
Yeah, Holly's been honestly one of I don't even know how to put into words quite.
Don't.
I didn't know Holly as a person before the last couple of weeks, and she is definitely unique. But I love her. She is just phenomenal. Like, as a person, what she's brought into the environment, the energy she's brought in, she's definitely brought something off pitch. But something that I said to her last night and today is, I've never seen someone come into an international environment, and drive standards the way that she has. From day one, she was not afraid to be a voice, to challenge the likes of myself, Bonner, like your senior members of the team, to be better. And that is ultimately what you want. Like, I always say, everyone has the ability to influence, and everyone has the ability to lead. It doesn't matter if you're a captain, a vice captain, you've been here for 1 day, 2 days. And she took that and ran with it. And I'm really excited about how she's going to drive this team forward. And I said early in the week, she's very different to any other second row that we have, and I think that's really nice to have that versatility of options across our second row. So Holly's been phenomenal both on and off the pitch, and I think Adele is definitely, I think you can tell, a little bit starstruck to be in this position. She definitely I don't think would put her hands up and say a couple months ago she would never have imagined that this opportunity was around the corner, but she has worked incredibly hard. The difference in kind of her as a rugby player from a month ago to now is, I've never seen anything quite like it. She's so willing to learn. She's like an absolute specimen. She has so much potential. And it shows a lot about her character, that she could come on, hold her nerve, get her line out job right for those two pretty crucial moments towards the end of the game and help us see it out. So very exciting future.
Did you manage to get any of the families down to the sort of cap presentation?
Yes, I believe.
Just
after the game, as we always do, a little cap presentation with everyone's families there. I think Adele was a little bit emotional. Holly was being silly, so probably sums both of them up. But it was, I'm extremely proud of both of them and how well they've done since coming into the environment, and really excited about the future for both of them.
Brian, when we spoke at the launch, sorry, do you want to?
Yeah. All good. Thank you so much.